nobody else to ever love me.
LV.
I gotta tell you, it's really good, but it's on that line. A little slow, a little mellow. I'm just saying.
Okay, I just want to lay down the law for a moment. That is Luther Vandross, never too much. And I just want to tell you, there was only one person in my whole life who I was afraid to interview. And it was Luther Vandross, and he was coming to be interviewed when I worked at NBC. And then right before our interview, he decided he didn't like to fly. He canceled the interview. And then he died. And I was not able to. Yes, so I just want to tell you, you're walking on very fragile.
Yes.
You know I love you.
And Will, trust me, my Twitter followers will beat you mad.
I love me some Will Cain.
That's Luther Vandross, baby.
Same thing y'all said to me about Willie. I love it. It was just a little mellow.
Wasn't mellow.
Dissing Luther Vandross in any way will get you kicked off the show. I just want to be very clear about that.
You know. Don't mess with Luther, baby.
Come sit down.
Don't mess with Luther.
Here we go. From We the People to Newt. Yes, former GOP presidential candidate Herman Cain has had I think it's a change of heart about his endorsement. Listen to this.
I know that he's going through this sausage grinder because he cares about the future of the United States of America.
Herman Cain joins us by phone. Good morning. Nice to see you, or hear you, not in person. Nice to have you join our panel this morning. So I got to ask you, first and foremost, sir.
Yes.
Last time we spoke, which wasn't all that long ago, you told me it was all about We the People. Now you've shifted and you're doing a second endorsement for Newt Gingrich. Why?
No, Soledad, why can't it be both? Let me explain. I endorse We the People because I don't want the people to lose interest in what's going on. Vote enthusiasm is dropping. That's why I endorse We the People. I never said I was not going to endorse an individual. And so now I made the decision because Newt and I have been talking for the past several weeks. And when he finally understood the 999 plan well enough to say that he can give that some serious consideration, that was the first point. And then the second reason that I wanted to endorse him is because when you look at our stand on energy independence, regulatory reform, as well as sound money, we are right in lockstep relative to those things. So
all right. Well, okay, I'm a little confused on it still, but we can move on from that. If you look at the polls, if you look at Florida specifically, tomorrow's a primary there. Mitt Romney is leading in those polls. When you look at the national polls, Newt Gingrich is leading in the polls. Explain that. What's happening with the American GOP, at least voter right now?
Well, I think that the GOP electorate is still split. Just like we saw it in Iowa, we could very well see it in Florida. Remember in South Carolina, at the beginning of the week, Newt was way behind. He ended up winning. I'm not predicting he's going to win Florida, but I'm saying that a lot is going to change between now and when the polls close on Tuesday night.
Mr. Cain, this is Will Cain. How are you this morning?
Your brother.
Hello there. Hello, Will.
We all know that 999 has been your love. It's been your platform. You've been pushing it. I think I just heard you say you and Newt have been talking about 999. So can we now expect Newt Gingrich is going to make 999 part of his platform?
No, not necessarily. What Newt has done is he and I have talked, and it is under serious consideration as the way we replace the tax code. And this is why he also asked me to co-chair his Economic Growth and Tax Advisory Council, which I will. So what do you think is going to be one of our big considerations? 999. So we have an understanding. It's not that he is going to adopt it, hook, line, and sinker without him being more comfortable with it. But he's given me enough indication that I'm satisfied that 999 is going to get a fair hearing in terms of his consideration.
Mr. Cain, it's Maria Cardona. How are you? So why did you wait so long to endorse Mr. Gingrich? I mean, for the Florida primaries tomorrow, if you had come out earlier, perhaps you could have helped him with that. And then also, do you plan on going on the stump? And with what electorate, what segment of the electorate do you think
that's a three-pronged question.
Can help with?
That is a three-pronged question now. I mean, you want me to answer it once. Come on. But let me answer this one, Maria. First of all, I indicated all along that this is a process. I don't play by everybody else's rules when it comes to endorsements. I wanted to go through a process, and that process involved how serious was the candidate going to be as it relates to replacing the tax code. I have had the same conversation with other candidates, and Newt Gingrich was the one who embraced the idea of replacing the tax code. 999 is serious consideration. So if I had just endorsed him as a matter of what is normally done, that wouldn't have achieved what I want to achieve, and that is I want tax replacement, not just tax reform. And Speaker Gingrich is now on board with that, and I'm going to help spread that message along with his other messages. Yes, In fact, I'm on my way to Florida to stump with him in Florida today some.
Herman, Roland Martin here. You talked about being a CEO in the race, a business person. So why did you bypass the guy who has talked about being a businessman, somebody who's run a company, as opposed to a Washington insider like Newt Gingrich?
Okay, first of all, there you go with these labels again. Newt Gingrich left Congress in 1999. He has been out of politics for over 10 years. He started and established a company called America's Solutions. So he was a CEO for over 10 years. It's not an all or nothing thing. You can look at Mitt Romney, and he was a CEO of Bain Capital, and he's also been a governor. So he's been both. I see Newt that way. He was in politics for a long time, but for over 10 years, he ran and built his own business enterprise called American Solutions. So it's not an all or nothing. I happen to think that he has an advantage in terms of his ability to communicate and connect with the people, because he uses language that the people can connect with, and I'm very confident that he can be an effective leader.
We'll agree on the language part.
Herman Cain joining us by phone this morning. Now, see, it'll be interesting to see if endorsements this late have really any win at all. Sarah Palin's certainly come out for Newt Gingrich on an official endorsement.
Right.
We talked to Senator Thompson also, and we talked to Rick Perry, right, when he was leaving the race, and so far it doesn't seem to have done a whole heck of a lot for Newt Gingrich. So we will see. Herman Cain, thank you. Ahead this morning on Starting Point.